The dim light of the tabernacle lamp flickered, casting long, dancing shadows across the ancient walls. Night had fallen deeply over Shiloh, and most everyone was asleep, including the aged priest Eli, whose eyes had grown dim with age. But in a quiet corner, near the Ark of God, lay a young boy named Samuel. He was just a child, ministering in the Lord's house, entrusted to Eli's care. The air was still, heavy with the quiet sanctity of the holy place. Suddenly, a voice pierced the silence, distinct and clear. "Samuel!" The boy stirred, his sleep-heavy eyes blinking open in the darkness. He knew only one person who would call him in the night. With the eagerness of a child ready to serve, he quickly rose and padded silently across the stone floor to Eli's bedside. "Here I am," Samuel whispered, his small voice cutting through the stillness. "You called me?" Eli, roused from his slumber, looked at the boy with a puzzled expression. "I did not call, my son. Go lie down again." A little confused, Samuel returned to his mat and lay down, trying to recapture his sleep. But no sooner had his head settled than the voice came again, just as clear, just as insistent. "Samuel!" Again Samuel rose. Again he went to Eli. "Here I am. Surely you called me this time." And again Eli replied, with perhaps a touch more weariness, "I did not call you, my son. Go back and lie down." This exchange, this curious misunderstanding, occurred a third time. "Samuel!" By now, something began to dawn on the old priest. Eli, despite his own spiritual struggles and shortcomings, possessed a deep inherent wisdom, a connection to the divine that had perhaps become dulled but was not entirely lost. He realized the significance of a voice calling a boy by name in the night, a voice that was not his own. It was not human. It was God. Eli's voice, now tinged with a quiet reverence, instructed the boy, "Go, lie down, and if he calls you again, you shall say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" Imagine the scene. A young boy, barely past the age of needing his mother's comfort, now understanding that something profound was about to happen. He was about to encounter the living God. With a heart perhaps thumping a little faster and a mind buzzing with anticipation, Samuel returned to his place. He lay there, waiting. The tabernacle lamp still flickered. The quiet was still profound. And then, for the fourth time, the voice came. It was the Lord himself, standing there, calling just as before. "Samuel! Samuel!" This time, there was no confusion, no hesitation. This time, Samuel knew. His response was immediate, simple, and utterly profound. It was a posture of complete availability, humility, and attentiveness. "Speak, for your servant is listening." And God spoke. What followed was not a gentle word of comfort, but a challenging, difficult message concerning Eli's household and the judgments that would come upon it. This was Samuel's first prophetic word, delivered by God directly to him, a young boy, concerning the very man who was his mentor. The next morning, Samuel lay awake, burdened by the weight of the message. How could he tell Eli such a thing? But Eli, sensing the gravity of the divine encounter, pressed him. "What was it that he told you? Do not hide it from me." And Samuel, with courage born of obedience, recounted everything, holding nothing back. From that moment forward, Samuel was recognized throughout Israel as a prophet of the Lord, and the Lord continued to reveal himself to him through his word. This ancient story, though set in a faraway time and place, echoes across the centuries with a timeless call. It teaches us profound truths about our own walk with God. Firstly, God calls us by name. It's personal. Just as he called Samuel, he knows each of us individually, intimately. He doesn't shout into a crowd hoping someone hears. He speaks with intentionality, with purpose, to you. Secondly, God calls at any age. Samuel was a boy.
He wasn't a seasoned priest or an elder. He was young, impressionable, still learning. There's no age limit to God's invitation to hear His voice and be part of His plan. Perhaps you feel too young, too old, too inexperienced, or too settled in your ways. Samuel's story reminds us that God can use anyone, at any stage of life, if they are willing. And thirdly, and most vitally, it teaches us the importance of listening. Samuel's response, "Speak, for your servant is listening," is not just a phrase, it's a posture of the heart. It's an active, attentive readiness to hear. In our noisy, distracted world, where countless voices compete for our attention, it's easy to miss the quiet, often gentle whisper of God. Are we so caught up in our own plans, our own thoughts, our own demands, that we assume any calling voice must be our own internal monologue or the expectations of others? Do we, like Samuel initially, mistake God's voice for someone or something else? Perhaps God is speaking to you through a gentle nudging in your spirit, a quiet conviction, a verse from Scripture that suddenly leaps off the page, or even the counsel of a wise friend. He might be calling you to a new path, to a deeper level of faith, to an act of kindness, or to a quiet moment of reflection. The call might not be dramatic. It rarely is for most of us, but it is real. The question then becomes, are we listening? Are we truly present, ready to respond with the humble, open-hearted willingness of young Samuel? Are we prepared to say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening," and then to obey, even when the message is challenging or the path unclear? Take a moment today, perhaps in the quiet of your own space, to pause, turn down the volume on the world, and just listen. You might be surprised by the voice that calls your name. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. Has there been a time when you felt God calling you? Share your experiences in the comments below. And if this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more reflections designed to deepen your faith journey. Until next time, may you be attentive to the divine whispers in your life.